Istanbul shaken by earthquakes as residents flee homes in fear. A series of strong earthquakes sent shockwaves through Istanbul in nearby regions on a Wednesday afternoon that residents won't soon forget. What began as a peaceful national holiday quickly turned into chaos as a 6.2 magnitude quake struck at 12:49 p.m. local time, its epicenter deep beneath the Sea of Marmara. Though tremors were felt as far away as Izmir, more than 500 kilometers to the south, Istanbul bore the brunt of the fear and disruption. Buildings swayed, sirens echoed, and residents flooded into the streets. While no major structural collapses have been reported, panic led to injuries. At least 151 people are being treated after leaping from balconies and windows in a desperate rush to safety. Fear in the streets and parks. The emotional toll of the quake was visible everywhere. In Besiktas, one of the city's busiest neighborhoods, locals set up camp in parks and open spaces. Many were too afraid to return indoors, haunted by the uncertainty of aftershocks. University student Selim Ustaoğlu, who was in his dorm room when the tremors hit, described the moment vividly. At first I thought I was going to faint. Then I realized, earthquake. I grabbed a few essentials and ran. I'm not going back tonight. Zeynep Akıncıoğlu, another student, echoed his fears. We were in the supermarket when the ground started moving. We dropped everything and ran. I looked at our building afterward. It doesn't feel safe anymore. Tents have popped up in parks across the Bağcılar district as families settle in for the night under the open sky. It's a scene that speaks to both the resilience and the raw anxiety of Istanbul's people. A moment that will be remembered. For Omar Syed, a longtime Istanbul resident originally from India, this was the most powerful quake he has ever felt. My wife and I were just having brunch when everything started to shake. We ran. You never really feel prepared for something like this. And Caroline Warburton, visiting from the UK with her family, described a terrifying few minutes on the 8th floor of their rented apartment. The building started shaking violently. The kids were crying, people were screaming. We grabbed our passports and bolted. There were cracks in the walls, sirens everywhere. Istanbul on edge. By evening, Istanbul's usual rhythm had begun to return, but with a lingering sense of vulnerability. Some cafes reopened and shops welcomed customers, but many remained cautious, choosing to stay outside or prepare emergency earthquake bags just in case. In some parts of the city, people sat on benches or laid out sleeping bags in open areas, their pets and personal belongings by their sides. Phones rang non-stop as families checked in on each other. The collective trauma of the recent quakes brought back memories of past disasters, including the catastrophic 2023 earthquake in southern Turkey, which left tens of thousands dead. Leadership and absence. Istanbul's mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, currently imprisoned on controversial charges, expressed deep sorrow over not being with his people during this crisis. Through a statement shared by his lawyer, he emphasized the need for unity and preparedness over politics. This isn't about elections, he said. Earthquakes don't care who's in charge. We need to be ready together. A wake-up call for many, today's events have served as a harsh reminder of Istanbul's seismic reality. Duru Yunek, who was in the middle of a shower when her world started shaking, summed it up. This is a wake-up call. None of us were prepared. Emergency services have recorded over 6,000 calls since the quake, and officials have confirmed 51 aftershocks, one of them nearly as strong as the main tremor. Fortunately, critical infrastructure like electricity, water, and gas has remained intact, but the psychological impact will take much longer to repair. What's next? Schools across the city will remain closed for the next 2 days, allowing residents time to process the experience and regroup. Playgrounds and school gardens have been opened to the public as temporary safe zones. As the city tries to catch its breath, one thing is clear: Istanbul narrowly avoided a far worse catastrophe. But the fear in people's eyes, the spontaneous tense cities, and the stories shared in parks across the city all point to one undeniable truth. This is a city living on a fault line, and the ground beneath is never quite still.
For full video, click related link below or like and subscribe this channel.